Welcome back, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen, and today we're going to be talking about Larrell Murchison because the Rams brought him back on a one-year deal. I had projected that in my projections, the free agency mock that I did. So I'm glad he's back. I think this guy really could not catch a break last year. So we're going to get into it. Before we do, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media at JK Bogan, including Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Kick. And in addition to that, just want to remind you guys that I did interview Rams safety Cam Curl. That is going to be on the Lounge channel. And, a little bit later next week, I will repost it on here, just trying to really push the Lounge. So if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe to that channel as well. Just hit over 1,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate you guys. We're really close to monetization over on that channel. So again, would really appreciate if you checked it out. Link is in the description below. All right, guys. So Larrell Murchison, 27 years of age, a 3-tech/5 tech, I would say. Not really going to play anything other than those two, but that's still some good versatility. He is back with the Rams on a one-year deal, undisclosed money, so it's likely around the veteran minimum for his allotted time in the NFL. But I like this move. I understand there were people that were bummed to see Neville Gallimore leave. I think he left. I mean, obviously he was part of the Rams and was a big focal point in their pass rush at the end. Really played out of his mind down the stretch, but I think what we often forget is a lot of the times these guys are trying to find places where they can get a bigger role. And while, yes, he has 100%, he would probably even tell you, he has a better chance of winning a Super Bowl in LA than Indianapolis. Indianapolis has a better chance of giving him more of a role. So the Rams, it's like he could see the writing on the wall. I mean, as great as he played at the end of last year, he did have some issues injury-wise. Desjuan Johnson's a draft pick. Tyler Davis is a new draft pick that played very well. They added Poona Ford, Braden Fisk, and Kobe Turner. He's not starting over anytime soon, so maybe he was looking and maybe the opportunity wasn't there. Jack Heflin's intriguing, and so is David Olajiga, both guys that were on the practice squad now will get an opportunity to make the team. So I just think a lot of that came down to it. Keep in mind, Gallimore was not signed until the season really started, so he was a late signing for the Rams last year. I'm happy for him. He got paid, but I think this is the right move. Murchison has unfinished business, as he tweeted out. I mean, this is a rotational and versatile defender that missed all of 2024. In case you don't remember, he had an arm injury, and then, of course, he waited to come back from that, and he did. And his first practice back off the IR, he breaks his foot in October. You feel for the guy because, then he immediately came, flying back, ready to go and everything. And they missed the NFC title game. Because that's one thing. The Rams kept him available to take off the IR, and they also kept Troy Reeder available to take off the IR. So something to keep an eye on there. Both of which, they practiced, but they didn't suit up, and they were ruled out for the Eagles game. He had a shot to play in the NFC title game, but the Rams lost the Eagles, so he didn't get that opportunity. He's played in 18 games for the Rams, even starting in 3 of them. Of course, starting in 2022, where he was cut by the Titans, waived by the Titans in December. Rams pick him up at the tail end of 2022. And of course, he makes the roster in 2023, ends up playing in the playoffs as well against the Lions. And then he's back in 2024. And while he didn't make the team out initially because of the IR, he basically made the team. They left a spot for him open. And unfortunately, he just could not stay healthy last year. Just really unlucky there. But, I think when you look at Murchison, it makes a lot of sense to stick with the Rams. He's still young. He's in his prime. And you look at this and you're like, okay, 3-tech and a 5-tech. There are different ways that they can use him on the defensive line, rotate him in and out. He's not going to get like 50 snaps a game, but if he gets 20, I could see that. And that helps the Rams. And I think this is a good cost-effective move considering, they spent a lot on Devontae Adams. They spent a lot on Poona Ford. And, of course, they spent on Coleman Shelton, as well as bringing back Tutu Atwell. So cost-effective move here. And, he has a good shot at making the 53. He, like he said, he had unfinished business. Of course, you got to make the 53. That is really how I look at this. This is an invitation to come into camp, battle, and earn your spot. No spot is going to be given to you, as we learned last year with Ernest Jones. But, I think he is going to make this 53. And he's got a really good shot now as it stands. Of course, we'll see if they draft anybody. That could change some things. But as it stands right now, both Bobby Brown and Neville Gallimore departed in free agency. So because of that, there is opportunity there. I think injuries robbed him of his best year last year. Again, I mentioned he's going to be 28. He's only 27 right now, and I think his best football is in front of him. I think he's going to come back from this injury, these two injuries, and I think he's going to be somebody that we really look on later in the year, kind of similar to Gallimore in the way Desjuan Johnson was playing down the stretch, and I think we'll be happy he was brought back. So the current outlook of this defensive line, you have Kobe Turner, Poona Ford, Braden Fisk. Those are your starters. No strings attached. Just clear starters there. Poona Ford will be their nose tackle. Then you have Tyler Davis, who I am really impressed with Tyler Davis. His hustle, his explosive, short area quickness, all that good stuff. A good tackler. I think he can really rush the passer. Was really impressed. I didn't love the initial pick out of Clemson, but I really like what he did last year. His body of work is only going to grow larger in this one. Desjuan Johnson is somebody, Mr. Irrelevant, that I think is underrated. I think he's put together some good film. When he's out there, he makes plays. So I'm excited for him. Then you have Larrell Murchison, of course. You have David Olajiga, last year's UDFA, and Jack Heflin as well, who's been in the league for a little bit, but was on their practice squad. They liked him, and now he's on their offseason roster. So we'll see what ends up happening. My guess, my feeling is that knowing they're going to have to pay Kobe Turner, knowing they're going to have to pay Braden Fisk at some point, and Poona Ford's on a 3-year deal, you also have Tyler Davis, Desjuan Johnson, all of that. I would imagine they draft at least one defensive lineman. So I don't think they're going to be super high. I think it'll probably be on day 3. But be that as it may, they've had a lot of success on day 3. They found Tyler Davis. They drafted Bobby Brown. Of course, at the end of day 3, they got Sebastian Joseph Day. They've drafted Greg Gaines. They've gotten plenty of good value on day 3. They've also gotten plenty of good value via UDFA, college free agents. You talk about guys like Jonah Williams, right? The job he did. Then of course you look at somebody that they just lost, and Michael Hoyt. I mean, initially he starts out as a defensive lineman. So those are just a few names. I mean, Ethan Westbrooks is in there. Not saying in the Sean McVay era, although Ethan Westbrooks was a part of that, but he came before McVay. But it is a reminder that the Rams in general have found talent all over the place, but on defense, they really find talent in the UDFA section. So keep an eye on that. I think they add one more. I don't see 2. I mean, obviously they'll add more UDFAs for competition's sake, but I think Murchison's job, at least as of right now, is pretty safe. My guess is if they add one more, they probably end up going with, I'd probably say 7 defensive linemen. Interior defense linemen, Kobe Turner, Ford, Fisk, Davis, that puts them at 4. Johnson puts them at 5. Murchison puts them at 6. And then they, grab another guy via the draft, puts them at 7. Olajiga and Heflin, we'll see if they can really compete and make the team as well. Maybe they show up and show out, puts Murchison in a tough spot. But I think Murchison's going to make this roster. We'll see what ends up happening. That's all I got for you guys. Again, if you enjoy this, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. If this was helpful in any way, if you didn't know about it, I might have been late on the news, but hopefully I wasn't late on the analysis. That's my biggest thing. So you guys take care. I'll see you guys soon. And if you want more Jake Ellenbogen content, be sure to check out the lounge. I'm going to have plenty of interviews, plenty of guests, but I already have plenty on there. So if you haven't already, check out the Cam Curl interview that I just did. Check out the Bobby Brown interview. Check out the Akella Witherspoon interview. Alexis Kraft, my co-host of Downtown Rams. Just plenty of interviews, all sorts. So that's really what that channel is going to be about. Really just talking to cool people, getting to know them, getting to tell their story. And it's not just going to be football. So stay tuned. A lot of fun stuff coming down the pipeline. And I hope you guys will check it out. That's going to do it for me. You guys take care. I'll see you soon. Later, folks. All right, guys. So once again, just want to let you guys know that you can check out my new side project, The Lounge. I interview athletes, musicians, actors, actresses, all the nine. So definitely check it out over on the Lounge with Jake Ellenbogen channel. Be sure to subscribe and enjoy. In case you guys haven't noticed, I do have a Discord channel for my community on this channel. And if you want to be a part of it, it is free. The link is in the description below. You can sign up. This is basically a 24/7 Rams channel, and we are almost at 1,100 members. So if you want to be a part of it, just hit the link in the description below.